Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. It's Spice86. I am Spice86 everywhere. That includes the EA Gallery, Spiel, TikTok, and of course on Twitch. So we're back for another CAS Wednesday, and we're revisiting our Black artist family, the Alonsos. And so this is Zion Alonso. She has she/her pronouns right now, but she eventually leans into their queerness, and then they become they/them pronouns. But this is her mama Maebell and her daddy Vance. Now Maebell and Vance are not my original sins. Vance is actually listed as handsome tattoo artist on the gallery by SympleSimss. That's SYMPLE, Sims with 2 S's. And Maebell is on the EA gallery from SakuraLeon as Business and Hobbies Girl. Now Maebell, we did give extra kind of skills to, because I really wanted a Black artist family. And then we kind of meld them together and created Sim to create Zion as a child. And Zion has grown up, and so we need to give Zion a little bit of a makeover. We also noticed that her features were kind of distorted. It kind of took some weird parts between her mama and her daddy, and so we wanted to definitely make her look a little bit more like them. This is us kind of going through their outfits and looking at their outfits and trying to see like what they kind of spawn with. And then we noticed they had a little Villago, which we thought that was really cool. And so we really wanted to kind of see how they manifest. When they were a kid, they had kind of gave queer vibes. And so we leaned into that. And of course, they had spawned with the painter aspirations, and like they had this rancher thing. So we were like, okay, we want to definitely revamp some of those things. And I was thinking that they definitely want to be an artist and a multi mixed media facet artist. And so we're about to get into really cleaning up these features, because as you can see, her nose and her mouth is just not working for us. So we tried to make her mouth a little bit smaller and push it back a little bit because it was poking out. And then we realized, you know what, we just should give her a whole different shape. And then we changed her nose by making it just a tad bit smaller. We're looking at her parents to see what type of features they have that we can incorporate. So we wanted to add some freckles and a beauty mark. That way she has kind of both of best worlds from both her parents. And as you can see, just those little touches literally made Zion shine. And I was super duper happy just with like those little touches. And then we added like some eyelashes and a little bit of makeup. We didn't want to do too much makeup because Zion is very much queer, but mass queer too. There's a little bit of femininity and a little bit of kind of playing with different gender roles, and therefore like they eventually do end up using they/them pronouns. Right now they're still in the she/her phase, but as you can see, we're about to change all of their traits, and then we also are about to change their pronouns too. And we gave them a swag walk, which I thought worked out really well. And then we made them very much like very much into women as their preference in terms of sexuality. And then we looked at their mama, just like kind of getting ideas of like outfits and whatnot. We gave her a little bit more of a butt and like legs. We really wanted her shape to be more closer to her mom if we could. So that's why we kind of looked back at what the mom looks at, things of that nature. And now we're about to get into it. So we definitely want to preserve Zion as like a teenager. So we wanted to give kind of like a very like baggy, no fucks kind of given, but still very mass in their approach to things. And so we were playing a lot with like the different outfits, the textures. I know this was also around the time that the new, I think it's like SEX or SDX. There it is, XCX. The XDX drop happened. And so we also went and looked at some of the new shirts and things like that that happened. But I was really digging that sweater from the Echelon kit. So like I held on to that sweater, but I really wanted to check out these like new kind of things, and to see like what they might look like and so on and so forth. So we got down there and I was like looking for it. I was like, where the hell is it? You know? And then I was like, no, that's 25 year. And then I found it. Then it was this shirt here. And I was like, that's cute. Wasn't really like sold on it. I was really like, yes, I want a hoodie. And so, you know, we went with the hoodie vibe. And then I was like, you know what? Let's go back up to the echelon. You know, I really was like struggling with like all of the shirts and whatnot, and I was just like, no, it's just not fitting the vibe. It's not sitting right with the spirit, you know. And so we ended up, I think, going back to the echelon at this point, and there it is. So I really was digging this sweater, and I was like, yes, this is the sweater, this is the look. And we just wanted like a very chill kind of vibe. And then I was like, yes, let's do the baggy pants. And then I was like, all right, do we want to do baggy pants, or like how baggy we want them? And we're like, yes, that's what we want. We want like sweats baggy, but like, you know, not too baggy. And then I was like, all right, we need some chill shoes to go. And of course we went with some socks. Then I was like, you know what? I started playing around with the ski mask, and I thought that was hilarious. Then I was like, yes, we need this little hat up in here. And then I was like, that's too sophisticated. I think, you know, it would be cool to kind of grab this little hat. And then I thought that was cool. And then I really liked it. I was like, yes, let's do this hat up in here. Then I was thinking, you know what would be really cool? Went back and kind of looked for the gay shoes, because they gave us like some shoes, and I was like, yes, we need the gay shoes up in our lives. And so I ended up putting the gay like multicolored shoes on her. And then as you can see, we changed their pronouns to they, them at this point as well. And then I wanted to give them a different outfit, a different like feel. I really wanted to play around with this like new sweater turtleneck combination from Business and Hobbies, and I thought it was super duper cute. And then I was like, you know what, I really want a hat. I think that Zion has the hat, and then I saw this and I thought, oh my god, the like Hebrew Israelites. And it made me laugh so much. And then I was like, all right, well, I was like, well, what kind of hat can we do? And I was like, I don't want to do a beanie. And then I was like, oh yeah, we got this hat. Then I was like, all right, let's change your hair, like what kind of hair we want to have. And I was like, you know, we could go straight hair. And then I was like, I don't know. I don't know if straight hair is the vibe. And then I was like, yeah, I need the ponytail. I think that's cute. And then I was thinking, oh yeah, we can give you some piercings. We give you like the bamboo earrings from the Urban Homage kit. I really love Urban Homage kit. Shout out to Ebonics for giving us like the vibes, because look at this, like the nose piercings, the bamboo earrings, and the freaking the triple layer like necklaces. They work so well. You know what I mean? And so yeah, we had to go back and give her some of these earrings, so that way it was on all of the places. And then I was thinking maybe they would look better in cornrows, and I was like, nah, I don't like the cornrows. And then I was like, all right, let me see what they look like without the hat. And then I was like, nah. But then oh, this is like the third outfit that we're working on. I wanted to give them like a pottery outfit because they're going to be a sculptor. I wanted them to have headphones. And so I thought that was cool. And then it took me way too long to find, like, I really love the scarf, but as you can see, the hair was clipping through the scarf. And so that was annoying. And then I was like, all right, well, maybe we can do a little choker. And so that was cool. And that worked out, giving us an alternative look. And then we moved on to formal. Now for formal, I was going more for like a very mass but femme sophisticated vibes, and I really wanted to test out some of this new business and hobbies. So like a lot of this was business and hobbies. And then we did take a little bit from the Casanova kit as well. And so I just really wanted to give them like a cool look. And then I was like, oh yes, we want to do the braids. At first I was thinking updo braids, but then I was like, you know what? No, I like the other braids. Um, yeah, I like these braids. They just give like kind of like a 90s vibe, and especially with the bamboo earrings. But now we're moving on to our sportswear look, and of course we went with the full on butch dyke look, and I loved it so much. And then we just moved on to our sleepwear, and like had to remember that they were a teenager, and so we couldn't show that much skin. It was just getting too much, and so we went with this one and gave them a do-rag. And then we're in the party wear look. So for party wear, I was thinking like, I was going back and forth, and I really wanted to try these suits from the Vintage Glamour suits. I went with the purple and like giving a little glitter suit, and then I really wanted to, like, I was thinking fedora might be cool, and so, but I also wanted to change your hair. And then I kept going back and forth about what's the hair. I almost leaned to those like 2 ponytails, and then I settled on the bamboo knots because she was giving Alicia Keys realness right now, and I was like, fire. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we wanted. We changed out the bamboo earrings for a different color so it matched well, and I was like, that's fire. So then we went with the very plain, very basic type of swimwear, and then we really thought about hot weather. It's like, okay, it's pride, and so we lean into that pride kind of aesthetic, and like we put their hair back with the bamboo earrings, and I love how they looked, and it was just cute. And then finally, this is the winter look that we're coming up right now. And so for the winter look, I wanted to like keep it fun, keep it light, still keep it like, kid, like teen friendly. And so we kept it simple. And this is our winter look. As you can see, this is our third look of our everyday look. And then this is number 2, which I feel like this is going to be like their favorite look. It's got so much swag, and I love it so, so much. Like, Zion is really kicking it. And I think it was like, this is the look number 1, which is like our chill look, kind of, chillaxing. And then we have our formal wear look, and it's giving very like daycare. I own a daycare center, but I'm grown and sexy. Then this is our sportswear look, which is given, yes, I'm a dyke, and you better recognize. And then I realized at this point, all of their freckles in the beauty mark just disappeared. Don't know what happened and how it happened, but it all disappeared. And so I was like, all right, now I got to go back and re-add these details, because these details were unique to making them basically blend a little bit more seamlessly with their parents, and it gave a little bit more texture, a little bit more like, realness to who they are. And as soon as we added it back, it was a straight game changer. It made their makeup pop, it made them pop as a human being, and I was just in love with it, and I was like, yes. And then this is me like scrolling through trying to get to the top so I can be able to look at all their looks. In hindsight, I probably could have did it a better way, but it is what it is. But now we got all of their looks looking good, and then we went to the sportswear looks, and then this is our sleepwear. As you can see, is very chill. And then this is our Alicia Keys inspired party look. She about to play on that piano, girl. You better play on that piano. And then this is our swimwear look, very, very demure. And then this is us going out to Pride, having a good time. And then of course we're back to our winter look. So, and it came together, and I was very happy and pleased. So Zion and her family, Vance and Maebell, are up on the gallery as one family. So you can search by Black Artist Family for them. Again, Vance and Maebell were not my original creations. Maebell, we did update a little bit and gave her some extra outfits, and lean more into kind of that boho aesthetic. But so what I really wanted to do was basically create a black artist family because I couldn't find it on EA Gallery, and so I really wanted to create a family who was black and artistic. And then I really wanted to play with melanin as well, because black people come in all hues. And so I really wanted to do that as well because I noticed that I was playing with a lot of dark skin black Sims. And so I was like, you know what? Why not do a little high yellow up in here? And so really excited to share these Sims with you. They are on the EA Gallery. As a reminder, the adult Sims are not my original creation. Zion is the original creation. She is basically the offspring. I'm sorry, they are basically the offspring of both of those parents. And so I hope that you enjoy them. I hope that you have fun with them. They currently are in my kind of everybody's business save file, which is like my kind of let's play run through of all the business to hobby stuff. And they currently own a shop that is called Tats, Pots, and Vibes, which they do tattoos and pottery, and there's also a cafe. And so Zion will be an apprentice at that shop. But until next time, folks, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm Spikes86. Have a good day.